What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Friends After 40
Hi.
podcast.
Good.
Hope everybody's doing all right.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you're watching this episode, yes, your eyes do not deceive you. We are wearing a bunch of throwback stuff because this episode is all about the 90s.
The 90s.
Our favorite decade thus far, right?
What's that?
We're going to get into all the things today about the 90s, at least for us, that reflect our upbringing, that have inspired and influenced our the way we act, the way we think.
The music we listen to.
Yep, the music we listen to.
Right? The way we dress, clearly, or dressed back then, and then, even how that kind of rolls into today. So let's get into it. This is going to be a fun one.
This is going to be fun. I'm excited.
These are the things that I wish I owned in the 90s.
Yes.
Not so much how I was dressing. I mean, of course, the clothes were big and baggy, but seeing people with a pair of J's on or the polo rugby is like, oh man, wish I had that. And which is a huge part of my life now. I'm like buying a bunch of things that I was never able to buy. But the 90s kind of inspired and is inspiring clothing now,
Yep.
right? It's
It's
like
all
everything
coming
that
back.
we wore is coming back. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just happened to browse through a mall the other day, and I was looking at the front window of the Gap, where I worked in high school, and that we'll get into that in a little bit too. And it was like I was telling you guys the other night, right? It was like a transport back into time. There were rugbies, baggy jeans, baggy khakis, the traditional or the old Gap logo in big letters across hoodies and things. And I was like, where am I? What is going on right now?
You're in the 90s.
You took a time machine.
Yes, absolutely. So much so I walked inside because I was super curious. And I was like, I don't know if I can see myself wearing this. But I was flipping through the pants back in like 93. And that the whole like showroom felt like it took me back to when I was working there as a kid in high school.
Yeah, 93.
Wow,
Man.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Janine looks like she's about to sing "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls."
Yeah, right?
I mean, I'm like you. I'm wearing the stuff that I think I had a pair of Timbs, though, but I definitely didn't have a Polo brand anything
No, me neither.
in the 90s. In high school, for sure. But yeah, it's fun. I borrowed this shirt from Ramon.
Oh, I got an MTV shirt.
I know, MTV.
I mean,
Crazy.
it's cute. It was $3. Why not?
I like it. MTV came out in the 90s or earlier, or it just became more popular in the 90s.
I think it
Yeah.
became more popular because that's when they had like Yo MTV Raps and all that stuff. you
Right,
know?
because in the 80s it was mostly just rock music. I feel like I was about to give something away, but the music, our music and our culture started to play a larger role in the playlist in MTV in the 90s, which I mean, come on, think about the shows that you did not want to miss, like Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah.
What was that other show? It was The Box or something like that? That it was like it was on a
Yeah, it was like on a UHF channel.
yes, and it was like
you
black
young
and white
people,
or whatever. I mean,
the UHF channel.
Yep. And they would have like rap videos on there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it.
What's the name of that
Was it
show
like
again?
The Box or something? Oh, I can't remember.
VH1 Video Music Box.
No, it
Video-
wasn't VH1.
No.
But
Video Music Box with Ralph McDaniels.
Ralph
with
McDaniels.
yes.
Yeah, Video Music Box is probably the one.
Is that-
The one
But
I
didn't he
mostly
start
like
in a
to think
different
of.
channel?
Did Ralph McDaniel start on a different
Yeah.
channel?
No? And then he became more mainstream and they picked him up there.
Right, because you know which one I'm
Because
talking
it was
about,
a fuzzy.
right?
Yeah,
it was
I thought
a
it
fuzzy
was
one.
him.
Yeah,
That was
you
the
have to like
fuzzy
use
one.
those
You couldn't
antennas
really
to make
see it. Yeah.
You had to
Damn,
turn.
we really dating ourselves.
Yeah,
now.
we
I know.
are. Ooh.
I mean, technology's come a long way,
Yeah.
especially from the 90s. I didn't have a cell phone. I had a pager.
Yeah. Yep, you have to hold it upside down and read it.
Yeah.
I love you too, boo.
Go to hell.
My code was 007 on my beeper. Because James, for
James,
James
yes,
Bond.
yes.
Yeah, it was
Jesus.
007. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Start calling you Bond.
We didn't meet. We didn't have beepers when you and I met.
I think
Was it?
we met in '99.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but we didn't have
Yeah.
beepers in
I did.
1999.
I had a smart beep.
Yeah.
You had a beeper still in 99?
With the answering machine service?
Yeah.
Is
I
that
think
the one?
the two-way.
That was
Remember
fancy.
the two-way
That
pages
one was
too?
fancy. Yeah.
I think that
What was the other ones that the
Oh,
drug
with the
dealers?
chirp?
the
Was that the
drug
one with the
Oh,
dealers?
the Nextels, but
Next-
that was
like
that
the
was
drug
in
dealers? Was everything?
2000s.
Oh, okay.
Those were
Okay.
early 2000s. The Nextel, Motorola Nextel, walkie-talkie.
Yeah, it's like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, because
Those were
you know,
dope.
first people didn't want to hear your business, and then you just shout your business all over a walkie-talkie so
Yeah.
everybody can hear it.
What were you watching in the 90s?
What was I watching? Well, the first one really, because I just got cable, right? It's probably like 91, 92 when we first got cable TV, and I was just glued to the TV. And that's when I was introduced to music videos. And my first few music videos were Janet Jackson, That's the Way Love Goes, which is still one of my
Yeah.
favorite
Mine
all-time
too.
songs.
Yeah.
Queensryche, Silent Lucidity. I think it was a Metallica song. I can't remember which one. And then there was LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out video came out. And I was like, this is amazing. I was like, just glued to the TV. Just bopping my head. I was like, yeah, don't call it a comeback. Let's go. So that's the first thing that I think I watched. And it was my favorite show with Married with Children. with the Bundys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Bundys.
Yes, that was a
The
favorite
Bundys,
show.
I know.
And obviously Beavis and Butthead
Remember
came
when
out,
there was
so you-
shoe salesmen? Do you remember that? Like old school. They
Oh,
would come
yes.
out and measure your
Like
foot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They would
floor
do that,
shine.
and-
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you
Floor
remember
shine.
that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I
Like
was
just
that's
being a
the worst
kid, right?
job
You're
ever.
growing. I know. Oh, let's measure your foot. They
foot.
don't do that anymore.
No.
Now they're like, it's right there.
Yep. They're like, there you go. They put the thing on the floor now. And it's like, stand right there, take
Yeah,
your shoe off,
yeah.
and measure it that way.
Saying
like no one is
service
touching
was
your
better
feet.
in the 90s.
But yeah, you remember they had like the bench and they would sit in front of you and help
they,
you put the shoe
and they
on.
had that little lift thing that you put
Yeah.
your, Mm-hmm.
Gone.
Yeah,
I don't
no
even
more.
remember when it left.
But you knew you were starting to come up in the world when you started to shop at Floor Shine.
Right? Yeah, it's like, we going somewhere now.
I was still
It was like,
shopping.
oh, my family's coming up in the world here. We left the Skippies and walked into a real shoe
Well, we had,
store.
what was it that we had? The Alexanders, right?
Yeah.
With the bin.
Mhm.
Did
That's
you
what I
just
was
with
about
the
to say,
would you
yeah.
get the
Yeah.
shoes out from the bin
Yeah.
and they were like hanging together with some
That's where I got my
rubber band
sneakers
or
from.
whatever it was.
Then we had
bin.
Conway.
Yeah. How about
Conway
Easy
had
Pickings?
shoes. Easy Pickings. I used to love me some Easy Pickings.
You know what?
It
I
still
never really-
exists, I think.
But I never really thought of the name until I got older, and I was like, Easy Pickings. I'm like, okay, all right.
But
Okay. Yeah, but Conway, that was a
Conway.
good one.
Yep. Conway's a good one.
How about Rock Bottom?
Rock Bottom. Yep.
we just go to Fordham Road. Take the bus to Fordham Road in the Bronx, and
You had all those stores.
you had like all of those stores,
Yeah.
and then all of those like mom and pop shops. You would because the 90s, generally we were in high school, right? So I think I was starting to make my own money. I just wasn't spending it on expensive
Right.
stuff. But you would take a walk down Fordham Road and
All the stores.
all the stores.
Because
which
that's
is
where I grew
crazy.
up. I grew up on Fordham, so that was like
Right there.
right there. We
Yeah.
would always just like window shop or just go up and down the stores, and the hot dog carts would be out there, and then
Yeah.
the gyro place would be on
Yeah.
the corner, and it was just so many things, and it was just that's how we grew up though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blimpies.
Had my whole life on layaway.
Everything on layaway. Yep, everything was on layaway. I gotta go put some money down on the layaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Do you ever have all your money taken from the guys that were switching the cards on
No.
on the street?
42nd.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were like all in cahoots with each other
Uh-huh.
back then. So it's the cards, and it's like which one followed the jack and where did it go? And I'm like that one. And they're like no. Meanwhile, they got three guys behind them
Yes.
scouting the street, bringing people in and taking everybody's money.
Yep.
I remember that.
How
I
was
also,
that even legal back then? That's crazy.
they're just.
Do you remember
That's what they
how
were doing.
Times Square used to look back then?
Oh, Times Square. I only knew Times Square back then in the middle of the night
Oh, clubbing.
I
because
was
we were
gonna say
out.
why.
We were out clubbing. We had no reason to be in the city during
Yeah.
the day as teenagers because we were in school or even in college. We were in college all day or in classes. And at night is when, but it was just as bad at night, probably worse
Yeah.
in
Yep.
certain areas. But yeah, that was interesting. So, I mean, funny enough, I'm wearing today exactly what I would have been wearing back in like '93. Right, introduced to
Polo down.
Polo and Ralph Lauren, and introduced
Eddie
to
Bauer. Didn't you work at Eddie Bauer?
I worked at Eddie Bauer because when we were into fashion in high school and in college, you worked at the places to get the
The
discounts.
discounts, yeah.
Right, so I
Yeah.
worked at the Gap, and like
Yeah.
I had to be like 10th grade. Like as soon as I got my working papers, I went to
Yeah.
Yonkers in
Yeah.
New York, into Cross County, signed up at the Gap, and I was like 50% discount. This is gonna be amazing. Blew all my money on Gap clothes and hanging out. So I'm actually wearing my Gap cargos as an adult because I love them. And this worked at Eddie Bauer. You're right. While in college, we loved that. And Polo had everything. Polo,
Yep.
because the city culture, upbringing. That's kind of how we grew up, kind of keeping up with the Joneses, or you know,
Did you
showing
ever-
up, showing out,
Did
showing
you ever
off.
buy anything that fell off the truck?
Did I ever buy anything that fell
I
off
will
the
neither
truck?
confirm nor
Yeah.
deny.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll confirm it. Yes,
Yep.
but not in the 90s.
Not
it
in
was
the 90s.
later.
It was later.
and it was furniture. And here for it, I would do it today.
Yeah.
If I had a good enough connect, I would do it today.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Why not? That stuff was good anyway.
I mean, we had certain stores. I mean, it was still totally illegal in the city, but you had certain stores where things kind of fell off the truck, and you walked into
yeah.
a back room
Yes.
in a regular clothing store.
Yes, and then they had apartments like that. You would go to someone's
Yes.
apartment,
Yes.
and they had stuff.
Yes.
Yes, I totally forgot. They had a spot like that on Fordham Road that I discovered.
Yeah.
That the main front of the store was like regular, but if you went in the back, there was like a rack of like designer stuff, and the prices were not right.
It was
You
all
know what I mean?
Yes.
counterfeit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's like when
Yeah.
you go to Canal. And they're
all
like, oh, you
counterfeit.
want Gucci? I got Gucci. You go back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a different time,
Yeah.
but we held true to like actually loving to go shopping. Like a buddy of mine, we used to hop on the train and go all the way down the 72nd and Madison to Ralph Lauren to pick up, you know, a pair of boots or something. And I never forget, it was like 11th grade. We spent $175 on a pair of leather.
Damn,
Ralph
y'all were
Lauren
rich.
Wow.
boots.
Y'all were rich.
And it was like my entire
Wow.
money making day. 'Cause I used to, you in high school, we waited tables and we worked in retail, and so all the money that came in, it came and went.
Yep, came and went.
And you know, you spent a little bit of it at school that you needed to and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But everything was all about clothes, clothes, and clothes. You remember when when we first met in my my bedroom in my parents' house, and I had a second
You
closet
did, yeah.
that I like had in from Target. I literally like, or Walmart or wherever it was back then. I had a full blown second closet in the bedroom.
Yep.
So I had two full closets in my bedroom, and
That's
all my
crazy.
clothes were folded because I learned how to fold at the Gap.
Gap, of course.
Right?
So you
I
had
learned how to fold
classes on
everything.
that.
And everything was immaculate. All the jeans, all the things.
That's crazy. Do you know, I'm listening to you and I'm like, you talking about just, you know, being in the 10th, 11th grade, hopping on the subway by yourself with your friend, just going down into the city like nothing, right?
Yeah.
But that's what we did back then. I mean, we just got around like, and we weren't going like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
72nd and Madison from the Bronx, that was at least 40, 45 minutes,
Easily.
right? And our parents would be like, all right, bye. See, I don't even know if they really knew where we were at. I
No.
know what we would say,
Yeah. I'm going to go with
but
my
they know where to
friends.
track us,
Yeah.
right?
That's just what it was.
You went, you came back.
Yeah.
We were saying that yesterday when we were out. We were in Westchester yesterday, and we were like, "Oh, a train to the bus, to another bus." We were like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, we can't see ourselves doing that now." It's like,
No,
but
it's a
we
lot.
but we said it was like when we did it back then. you carved out that time. How
Yep.
long it's going to take me to get on this
Yep.
bus, to go to the train,
Yep.
to go to work, to then walk 4 blocks.
Yep.
But that was what we did.
Yeah.
But it was like, but when we were doing it, we were in it, right? So
Yeah.
it wasn't a big deal. But
No.
now it's like, oh, I got to take what?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I bought my first car when I was 17. I bought my first car when I was 17. I bought it from this guy who lived on the corner. It was this Subaru hatchback. I don't even know what it was. I paid $800 or $900 for the car. And driving that car, I felt like I had such freedom. Like I could go anywhere. And then the car broke down and it died. And then I had to go back to taking the bus and the train. I felt like somebody cut my legs off. Like someone snatched my soul.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Like how, and then of course I was back to busing and training it for a long time. I didn't have another $800-900 to find another car. But yeah, thinking about, especially in the severe weather, waiting on the bus, waiting on the train. But that was our life. Like
Yeah.
the bus was our like the bus, because I lived right off of White Plains Road. So it was like, you took that 41 bus everywhere.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yep.
In high school, when I said I used to work at the Gap, from Fordham Road, you had to take a bus to Webster Avenue. So that was like 10 minutes, right? 20 minutes of traffic. Then you could either grab that bus for another like 35 minutes to go from there up to White Plains and 238 to grab the Westchester bus to take that to Cross County.
Yeah.
And I did that all through high school
Yeah.
working. And that was like an hour and a half commute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. Hour and a half commute.
Yeah.
And the
After
one
school.
night, I remember I fell asleep on the bus, on the Westchester bus on the way home. I woke up somewhere in the middle of Mount Vernon.
Oh, fun.
Somewhere where little 10th grade James did not need to be in the middle of Mount Vernon somewhere. Right? So
They just
like,
left you on the bus.
the guy
That's
was
just
like,
mean.
They
hey,
didn't check back
hey,
then.
last stop. I
Yeah.
was like, where are we? He's like, well, we're over here. I was like, are you going to go back? He's like, I'm going to do one more route, so you're lucky. So
Yeah.
we got back.
Yeah.
So I
you're
rode with
lucky.
him all the way back in the opposite
Oh, you
direction.
made a friend.
Oh my gosh.
When I was living in Queens, I fell asleep on the bus. It was probably like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. I fell asleep on the bus. I woke up in the bus yard.
Oh, no.
Oh.
They really left you.
He's like, what are you doing here? I was like, where are we? He's like, last stop. I had to get out, and I was walking down. I was close to Jamaica Avenue. I had to walk down Merrick all the way home at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. There's no dollar vans around.
Dollar vans. Those was- that
Dollar
was-
vans.
Yeah, the dollar vans, those were good.
They were good.
That sucked.
It's
It's okay.
crazy.
I fit in.
Yeah.
You
I've done the
jumped in
dollar
the
van a
middle of
couple of
Mount
times.
Vernon.
I did the dollar van a couple of times. I was like, just keep your mouth shut. Don't look at anybody. Don't say a word.
I used to love the dollar van. If I could catch a
man.
dollar
I was like,
van,
but
I was happy.
I really needed that dollar ride that day.
Right?
You know, when you're pinching it, trying to get on those buses.
Yep.
In the 90s, it was $1. I don't know how much it is now. They still even run because we got Ubers and everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the price kept going up.
Now it's probably a $10 ride.
Yeah.
That's
The dollar
crazy.
van drivers doing Uber.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh man, what about like the words we used to use back then, right?
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Oh, like the slang?
The slang, you know, those like because I hear the kids today and cap, no cap. I'm like, what is that? What's the no cap?
It's stupid.
What's the other one?
It means
Is
there's
that what
no
it
top
means?
on the bottle.
No, right? No, that's exactly what it means. No lying, right? Or no lie, no cap. I think that's what it means.
But is it
I don't know.
derived?
Producer, is that right? Yeah. It means lying. Okay, yeah, I was right.
Is there like a
Lie?
Latin
What?
derivative of this? What is the?
I don't know. You have to ask the other younger producer.
I was going to say, do I need to get the 13-year-old? Because she would know.
What was the other one? Yeah. I was like, what's
What?
that?
Got means fat. Like
Yeah, fat butt. I had asked, I asked
jeez.
Gavin
What?
about that one, and he starts dying. He was
Spell
like,
it
"Mom,
Y
G,
G.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
A. Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, producer.
yeah."
Interesting.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of that one.
So those, but those are like weird right now.
Yeah.
like that doesn't even make sense to me. At least we had like, that's fly. That's dope.
That's dope.
I mean,
they still
You
say
I
dope.
mean,
bugging.
it's still
Chilling,
Still say
you know,
bugging.
like
I still
those
say dope.
things.
I say dope all the time. I say fly too. I don't say fat anymore.
No,
But even like when thinking about the slang that we used to use and I still use sometimes, there's no real way to know what it derived from, or
Yeah.
not all. Some possibly if it's like an abbreviation of something, but fat meant it was dope. No, okay.
Yeah.
Fat meant it was really cool. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like, and so does dope.
and
It's
dope,
like
right? But you would ask our parents like, dope, and they'd be like, dope. Like dope is not a good word because dope would
Yeah,
mean like drugs,
drugs.
right? And
Yeah.
we're like, no, dope, like it's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you big dope.
Yeah. Or you big dope.
Oh, yeah.
You big dope.
You big dummy.
What else did we used to say?
What's the 411?
What's the 411?
Oh, what's the 411?
I mean, clearly you know what that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Used to play, hey yo.
Or just the cat calls, or not even a cat call, but just yeah.
It was that one. You walking on the block, all you hear is ooh, ooh,
Yo.
yeah, yeah.
Shorty was real popular.
Shorty.
Oh,
Shorty.
that
Yep.
was a big one.
Yeah.
What up, Shorty?
Shorty was, yep.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
What up, Shorty? Yeah, that was a good one.
Cookie. Not you, Crumb.
No, that was just in your neighborhood.
That was only in Little Italy.
That was only in your neighborhood.
No,
don't
I
think
did
they
not
were
pick
saying
that
that.
up in Little Italy. So,
I
you know.
know. Never
You picked
heard that one.
Me neither. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was like, never mind. It's a rabbit hole.
Fresh. Fresh is the 90s, right?
I'm not sure.
Is that the 80s?
It's more 80s.
I feel like I want to, yeah.
Fresh was like Beat Boy era,
Yeah, right.
which was
But
like
those are
But
fresh.
it's sick.
early
It's
80s,
sick
mid
for a
80s.
long
Say that.
time, though.
Yeah.
Because we'd be like,
Yeah.
yo, that's fresh.
Well, my favorite show to watch was The Fresh Prince of
Bel-Air.
Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that came out in 1990.
Did it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah. So did those Jordan 11s you're wearing there. Very nicely
These-
done.
Yes. These are
Sort of mid 90s, right?
95.
Nice.
Like, yeah, these are Air Max 95s, right?
95 was a
No,
good
these
year.
are still 90s.
90s, yeah.
I couldn't
But
find
they-
my
Are you
95s
wearing polo
today.
socks?
Yes, I'm wearing polo socks.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. I
With
got
the
those.
bear on them too.
Get the coordinate.
Right?
And these are again stuff I wear today. Not bought for the
It's like
episode.
this is just my regular.
Let me cover
Right.
that back
That
up.
was a Christmas stocking gift.
Yes.
Those are cute.
They're
Thank
cute.
you.
Did you wear Tim's when you were?
I did wear Tim's. It's funny because in preparation for this episode, I shared with you guys that I'm wearing my daughter's jeans because baggy is so in. And the other day, she was like, I forgot how it came up, but she was basically saying she wanted a pair of Tim's. And I was like, are Tim's back? And she said, yes, these. And then I was like, is Carhartt back? And she said, yes. And I was like, oh my God, we have really gone full
Yes,
circle.
Full circle.
How did we get here? I don't even understand it.
Because
Yeah.
It's
90s
so
was
crazy
the best.
to me. But
is.
like all of it, you're just gonna bring all of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Bring it all
usually it's
back.
like, okay, some of it, yes, it's from this decade, whatever. They just were like, no, we're gonna take all of that,
Yep,
all of it.
all of
We're
it.
just gonna bring it back right now. I'm like, okay. It's so funny though because I'm looking like you with the Gap. And do you remember those tennis like sweaters?
The V-neck, yeah,
I
yeah.
had one.
The
Those
cable,
Those are back.
Yep.
cable knit with
Yes.
you know
Then you got the
stripe
red,
right up
like
top.
the blue and the
Yes.
green
Yes.
and this white.
Right?
I had one of those.
And me too, right? And I'm looking at the girls, the loafers, the little
pleated
skirts.
skirts?
Yes. Although we used to wear the thigh high socks, right? And I was like, it's so funny because I look at it and I'm like, this is really cute. I'm not buying any of it because to me it's a little too young,
yeah.
right? I'm like, the skirts are too short. You know, like I can, like if Alexa wanted it, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense for your age.
Right.
But for me, I'm like that. Even these jeans I'm in.
Yeah. Hey, what is this? You could fit like 3 of us in this.
Yeah, I feel ridiculous. in it. But back in the day, right? I mean, but we were also young. It was, well, you didn't even think twice. But
No, because
yeah,
that was the style.
that was the style.
We
But
had
it's so
to
funny how it's
be in
coming
that.
back, and I don't really I'm not into it.
No.
You
I
know,
agree.
I see it as like this is for a certain
Age group. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not part of it. And I
Yeah.
can accept that.
That's
I'm
okay.
good.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I understand. When I looked at those, those different items in the showroom, I was like, I was telling Lisa yesterday, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't
it's
do it.
nostalgic, but you don't want it.
I'm
right?
probably
Yeah.
skinny jeans for the rest of my life because it just, I don't know. I'm just
Yep.
Yeah.
grown.
Right? I just said
Not-
that to you
not-
guy the other day. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm over the baggy, the loose, the relaxed, the wide. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
over it.
I'm gonna stick to my skinny jeans.
I need things to fit. I need things to fit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So a funny story for me, speaking of like those different types of outfits and stuff. Do you remember the Columbia rain suits
Yes.
When
Oh
those
my goodness.
came out
and
in the
I
90s?
wanted one.
and
They
everybody
were
was
so
buying?
expensive.
They were very expensive. I bought my first one up on
Your
on
first
Fordham
one?
Road.
This mofo
My first and
right
last,
here.
by the way.
Okay. I was like,
Just to be
what?
clear, first and last, right? Because first it started with a rain jacket and not for rain, for style.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right? Because everything we wore is for style, not
Yeah.
not
Right.
for
the actual
Right.
not
No.
for actual purpose.
Yeah.
No.
Right? So full Columbia rain suit, a pair of Timberland boots,
Yes.
a Carhartt hoodie
Oh my goodness.
under
yes.
the rain suit jacket.
Yes.
Sounds like
And
you
the
were
jacket
hot.
had a brim, right?
Yes,
If I remember the hood.
Yes, it had a
Yeah.
brim. And then one night we went to the Limelight. I didn't wear the hoodie, but I wore the full rain suit with a t-shirt
Oh, Jesus.
Did you not die?
I
and
was gonna
basketball
say.
shorts. And I tell you, we got in there because we had friends that were running the place back then from a security perspective. And we would get in at like 9:30 before doors even opened. And we wouldn't leave until the sun was coming up and the lights were on and people were sweeping. And I wore that outfit that whole
Oh
night.
no. Oof.
I
You
was
must have been
already
ripe.
probably like 130 pounds soaking wet. I must have walked out of there like 98 pounds. I was drenched
You was
all
ripe.
night. It was
Ugh.
gross.
Yeah, you was probably
Some
smelly.
sweaty,
I
sweaty
wasn't-
Sweaty balls.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you for sure had some sweaty balls coming out of there, right?
Sweaty balls.
That's crazy.
Small ass
Well,
orbit.
no, I mean,
And like, could you wash that outfit? I forgot what the
no,
material.
you just hung it out to dry.
Oh,
you didn't
hell
like you
no.
turned it inside
No,
out
nah.
and you let
That's
it
a
dry
hard-
somewhere.
That's a hard pass,
That's
right?
right.
I'm good.
You hung it back in your closet.
Hung it
and-
back
like
in your
hockey
closet.
equipment.
but I
You
never
needed
wore
like
it again.
spray, disinfectant, you need all of that.
But gosh, it was the hottest night of my life. It was. So then I didn't learn my lesson. So there was another night where I was like,
You
all right.
didn't.
You wore it again?
I didn't wear it again.
Oh, jeez.
But it was like wearing something heavy out to
Oh,
a
out,
nightclub.
yeah.
But it was because the style, again,
Yes.
it was a Carhartt hoodie, a Jansport backpack,
Jansport.
which was
Oh,
empty, by the way.
man.
Of course it was empty.
It was like nothing
Yeah.
to carry.
I
It was
wanted
completely
one of
empty.
those.
A pair of cargo shorts, your Timberland boots, and the brand new Timberland wool hat that just came out.
a wool
God.
It was
hat
wool. It was like this,
I know what
right?
you're talking about.
in a
but
club. I
it was
remember.
wool.
But you wore that to go to a
And it was
club.
burgundy
I
and a mustard brim, and
Uh-huh.
it was fancy. It was like $35.
Oh my god.
Like that's
What did you do with all this clothing?
I don't know. I mean, slowly. I guess
got rid of
just
it, right?
got rid of it slowly, but
You
yeah.
had thousands of dollars.
Worth of
in-
clothes,
right?
You don't even. It's
I mean, but
so-
like before the age of 18.
so
right?
egregious.
Honestly, right?
It was so egregious. Just like my entire check went to just clothes, and more clothes, and hanging out. Filled up that second closet at home.
What was the other brand? It was like Gucci?
Coogee?
Coogee.
I've never
Coogee.
owned anything
That's
Coogee.
those sweaters, right? And then cross colors.
But that was like a luxury brand.
Cross
wasn't
colors.
it?
Yeah.
Gucci? Yeah.
I was wearing cross colors. I had no idea it was like really a black brand. Like really a black brand.
I
Like,
didn't
I
own
just-
cross. It was too expensive.
But I loved it.
I loved it too.
I had the two-tone, and it was an unfortunate time because Crisscross was also wearing it. So I'm
Yeah.
running around wearing this denim jacket that with the gradation from denim to purple on the bottom, full-on purple on the bottom, and cross colors overalls.
You wore overalls.
Heck yeah. If it was in, I had it.
Oh,
My God.
Spent anything to get it.
I believe it.
You was
I
dressed
didn't know
like
you
had
were
all
such
the
a
jobs
clothing
for all the
whore. I didn't know
clothes.
this.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
clothes.
Oh my God, that's bad.
He's dressed like a white rapper.
I mean, there were days
He
where
was fresh to
yeah.
death
Right.
all the time.
Yep.
All the time, right?
You mentioned that Jansport book bag. I wanted one of those book bags so bad.
Me too. They were expensive.
I had like the
Right?
off-brand, like Mansport, something like that.
You had the Fordham Road street
I had the
version.
Fordham Road street version. Oh my gosh. Oh man, you remember you could get like all the bootleg CDs on Fordham Road?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
The CDs, the movies.
Yes.
With the person
CD,
walking.
oh my God,
in front of the
bootleg
movie theater.
movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
The bootleg
Watch.
movies. Yep.
Oh man.
I mean, we would be at the salon, right? And somebody would just walk
Oh,
in.
that
with
was my
freaking
favorite
bag.
thing.
Oh,
You
it was
can
the
get
same thing in the
You can get
barbershop.
an empanada. You can get
Yep.
some socks.
You
can
get everything.
the oils for your body.
Yep.
Right.
They even
Yes.
come in with freaking empanadas.
Yeah, you get everything.
you get a
fed,
Mansport book bag.
Yep. Yep.
Get some jewelry while you're at it. Like, that bracelet is cute. Let me
Yep.
look at that.
Like 2 for $5.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you 4.
Speaking of jewelry, I see you guys you ladies got the door knockers.
Oh yeah, we had,
Oh
we
yeah,
had to bring
door
these.
knockers.
Did you who had the one with your name in it? Your name in the middle.
I did.
Y'all don't know
You
Clarence,
guys
huh?
didn't have it?
Y'all don't
I
know
had a
Clarence?
name chain and a name ring.
Name chain and name ring. Okay.
I think I
No.
even had like a 2-finger ring at one point.
No, Clarence
Yeah.
shut that down real quick.
Clarence shut it down?
is
Clarence
my
wasn't
father
allowing it?
for the audience. He was like, no, just no. I was like, but no. I think maybe I had a chain, and that's where it
Yeah, I had
ended.
the
That was it.
nameplate. How about
Yeah.
those belts with your names on it? Remember those?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So I had
didn't
really,
have one
I
of
had
those.
really good friends because do you remember also Levi's were in? Mm-hmm. And I
They're
think
back now.
They're back, and I think we would wear them in different colors, but they were also expensive, right? So of course I didn't have it, but my friends would let me borrow their stuff. So if we were going out, they'd be like, "Here, I got you, jeans, earrings, everything," and then I'd have to go back, change out of that, and then go home.
before Clarence saw you.
She
Clarence
left
would
the
be like,
building. I want a girl with
"Wait."
extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair.
It's like how I live in the Bronx and don't dress like I live in the Bronx. Like this is crazy. We had to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
I had you would have thought I had split personalities, like because my outfits would range from hip hop culture one day to straight Gap preppy the next day to not like grunge, but I owned a pair of like the first Skechers that came out back in the day, like the black boot with the thick heel. It was like the competition to Doc Martens back in the day. I was probably one of the first ones wearing that I picked up.
Sounds like you were one of the first
in
ones
cross country.
wearing everything.
Uh-huh.
But go ahead.
All the
Yeah.
clothes.
But I
Yeah.
think when you're really into fashion style, it can be like that. I feel like I'm more like that now, right? Like I have days where I want to wear sweats, but I'm like, they got to be cute. You know, I have days where I want to be a little preppy. I have days where I want to be a little bit more chic. I have days where I'm like,
Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I like the mix. I like the option to
Yes.
go in and out of styles. I don't know that as a kid I was really like that. I think I just wanted so much to have what other people had.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, that's dope.
Because you
That's
wanted to
that.
fit in.
Yeah, and I thought a lot of it was cool. Like
Yeah.
you know, but like my clothes could not be this baggy. Clarence shut that down. Also, shut it down. So, fun fact: you always talked about how in high school I had to wear a uniform. My skirt was really short because I stopped growing when I was 12, right? And so the skirts default they're like below the knee because they know the girls are all different heights. So I stopped growing at 12, and so I had mine hemmed. That was Clarence's suggestion. He's like, "Oh, you're not growing anymore. We're just gonna have all of your skirts hemmed." So when we went, we had a length, and I had to move it up, right? But that was also a thing. So because a lot of the girls would
fold
roll,
them,
they
yeah.
would roll, right? And he was like, "That looks messy. We're gonna go," because he didn't like me to be in anything that didn't fit.
Right.
Even if it was the style, I was like, "Dad, but it's the style." Like outside of my uniform, and he was like, "That, no." It just shut it down. I was like, so yeah.
You're ruining my life.
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. You know, and my mom would come in and she would be like, all right, well, she would let me have some stuff, but I never had like I never had like the wardrobe, you know,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
always
yeah.
wanted that.
Yeah, no, it was a thing for me. Like the Durangos. You remember the Durango boots?
Yes.
Yes, I owned a
Yes.
pair. Those I did own.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have Durango boots, wide leg
Jeans.
jeans from the Gap 3430 was a size. Even way back when, I was probably a size 30 at that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
But you wore a pair of basketball shorts
Under.
underneath.
Yep.
With
so
those
that,
braided belts.
right, with the braided
Yes.
belt.
The hangs.
And if you really were
Right.
Oh,
right,
my
if you really were
goodness.
doing it, you went to when Abercrombie and Fitch first came out.
Yes.
And they had those really thick sweaters, turtleneck sweaters, but the really thick ones. They were like $250, $295 a sweater.
You had one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he wore it to the club.
Oh yeah. yeah. We
He
wore
was
it.
sweating to death.
I was shopping at Aeropostale.
Me too.
Getting my pants for like
right.
$28.
Was it
or something.
Aeropostale or Aeropostale?
I don't know.
That was the big thing back then. We were like, how do you pronounce
In the
this?
hood, we call it Aeropostale.
Pastel. Yeah.
It was Aero, you know my pastel.
Oh man.
What were other stores like at the mall? When you went to the mall and your
Well, but
desired
there
store.
really weren't. See, you mentioned going across county,
Yeah.
right? But the side of the Bronx that I lived on, malls weren't a thing then. There were
Yeah.
strip malls, but there were no malls. So malls to me were kind of like this suburban foreign thing. And do you remember, was it Macy's Herald Square? It was kind of like the first mall that I remember in the city, you know, because I have family who lived like in New Jersey, and I would go to that. Like I knew what a mall was,
Right.
but I never saw it replicated in any urban environment,
Yeah.
right? And so when Herald Square opened, I was like, oh my God, this is a mall. You know what I mean? Like one-stop shopping. Do you remember going to like, I don't know, 34th Street for that, 42nd, like in a day? Like I gotta,
Oh, yeah.
I have to run, I have to like, and I mean, just us being in high school, I have to get some stuff, right?
Well, I lived
have
on
to
Fordham,
go.
so Fordham had everything.
Fordham
we
had
didn't-
everything.
We didn't have to go into the city for nothing.
No, I had to. But I also had a job on 86 and Broadway, but there was nothing over there at the
Right.
time. So I remember being like, all right, I have to be at work by whatever time, and I would leave a couple of hours early. And if I wanted to go shopping, I would go like
Yep.
wherever and just bounce around. You know what I mean?
And you
so
had all the bags on the train.
you have
with
1,000
you.
bags,
Yeah.
right? And so when the concept of a mall started to happen, like in the city, I was like, this is great. You can go to one place
Yes.
and hit all the stores at once instead of being, you know, all around the city all crazy. But yeah, the concept of a mall. So you would go to Cross County. I didn't even know about Cross County until I was in my 20s.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
Whitney.
we always, my family, we would always go like into the city to do stuff. We never went into Westchester.
Okay.
Because that part of the Bronx was very close to Manhattan,
Sure.
right? So even driving, we always went that way. We
Yeah,
never
made
went
more
That makes sense.
That
into
makes more
Westchester.
sense,
So it was just like this other world to me. And then when I discovered it, I was like, this is where the civilized people go.
yeah.
Where have I been?
I would go to Bay Plaza
Oh, Bay Plaza was another
in the
one.
Bronx.
To catch a
Yeah.
flick.
Yo, go to Bay Plaza. Yo, we would see
what I did
Nice
there?
and Smooth. Nice and Smooth. Oh man, the Nice was so great because you would see rappers all over the place,
Yeah.
and it's not like they were like these high profile figures that they kind of have the essence of now. But you would see Nice and Smooth. They had. Do you remember the Geo Trackers?
Oh yeah.
So they had two, and one had a plate that said Nice, and the other had a plate that said Smooth. And they would always be driving through the Bronx, and they was always at Bay Plaza. Because we'd be at the movie theaters, and then you had to walk through the Burger King to get to the movies.
right.
And you just see like, oh, Nice and Smooth. I would see like Brand Nubians, and you see like all of these rappers all the time. It was cool. Bay Plaza was the spot back in the day.
Yeah. We used to make a full day of like if we were gonna go shopping. So when we started going to the mall, and we would get so stupid things were, right? We would get in my mother's hatchback, Nissan Sentra 1986 hatchback, and no stereo in it.
Of
So we had a
course.
little radio under the passenger seat. Me and a friend of mine would put the little radio down there, put the tape in, listen, turn it on, and then drive for like 2 hours up to like Darien, Connecticut, or all the way out to Long Island to go to the mall to specifically go to like a Nordstrom for the first time.
Yeah.
And
Damn, y'all
to
were
buy
committed.
You had
to
a
buy
walk?
the $35 hat.
Oh Jesus.
Because only places like Nordstrom had right, you know, this
Wow.
was before like going actually down to the actual owned stores or named stores in Manhattan.
I didn't hear of Nordstrom until I was watching A Different World, and Whitley shopped at all of those stores. That's
I love that show.
yeah, I love that show too.
So what were your favorite things about the 90s? Like if you can name like 3 or 4 things, what is it?
I love the music.
Mm-hmm.
That's like gotta be like my
Absolutely.
number one because music now is not the same.
Mm-mm.
So.
Yeah, I let my tape rock till my tape pop. I remember I had on a tape on one side. I had Nas's first album, because and then back then, right? You would someone bought a tape, like, yo, make me a copy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh my God, I forgot about
I had
that.
a
Yeah.
90-minute tape, and I had Nas on one side, and I had Buckshot Shorty. What was the name of the
Smith and Wesson,
not Smith and Wesson.
Brooklyn.
Doesn't matter. So I had that album on the other side, and all I would do is play the tape straight, then flip it over, then play it again straight the other side, and flip it over. I knew like
Moon, something Moon.
Black Moon.
Black Moon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know why you- Black Moon. I had Black. Oh my God, and that's what it was. And I'd be playing in my Walkman. In my Walkman, I'd be walking because you walking to the bus stop probably, and just rapping out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, freestyle music was good, right?
Yeah.
We don't have freestyle right now.
No.
Like
It
what
is.
it?
It was
Like
good.
the Lisa Lisas and the Susie Q's and
Yeah.
what's the other one? Stevie B.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that music was like my favorite. In addition to like all the hip hop and R&B. Oh my God! Like I love me some Keith Sweat. Like, you can't tell me nothing. I know all the songs, everything.
Yeah.
But the music, I say, it was just
Yeah.
1,000% my favorite
Yeah.
growing up back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the show we went to? That DJ.
DJ Cassidy.
We went to
Yeah.
DJ Cassidy, and of course, all those artists is from the
Mm-hmm.
'90s.
Yeah.
And I think I left there. My voice was hoarse
All of us.
because we was just singing and rapping all night. Keith Sweat, and then Keith Sweat, of course, he was drunk. And he's like, "I'm not drunk." People say I perform drunk. Then he was like, "Where's my Henny?"
Oh boy.
It was so good though, like to be in an audience of people your age from that era. Everyone knew
All the
songs,
all the lyrics,
all the words. So
everything.
everyone's screaming, everyone, you know, everyone's standing up. It was a lot of fun. Like you talk like nostalgic, that
Yeah.
was, and the artists were still good, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, like the music is always like the number one thing that stands out. And I did feel like as much as I loved hip hop, R&B is my favorite genre today, and it's what it started back then because it like had this evolution.
Yep.
You know, like Mary J. Blige, she was always like a little R&B with like a little
Little
hip hop.
Yeah.
And so because, you know, I grew up and my parents played a lot of R&B, but the R&B sound was very different.
Yep.
You
It's like
know,
more Motown.
yeah. So I felt like it was in the '90s. There was this like evolution
It was
happening
with Mary J. Blige.
yeah, and I could not get enough of it.
Yep.
And I remember being excited about when an album dropped, right? You had to go out and get it. I remember going to record stores, right, to get that
Yep.
the tape, to get the CD,
Tower,
right?
Virgin. Yep.
Yeah, right. And sometimes getting on the train to go do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it would come out like what? I think you said like on Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Right, because if you weren't up on that, like you go to school wherever, and someone's like, "Yo, did you live here?" And it's like, "No, I didn't get it yet." You felt, I mean, talk about feeling left out, like just from clothing. That too was like I could afford that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one of the things that stands out. And you know what else? The videos, right, and the dances that went like
With
to
all the songs.
all of the songs.
Yep. Because you had to know the dances, the dance moves, everything.
I loved it.
Yeah.
That's how I
Right.
learned how to dance, watching videos.
Yeah.
Nonstop. I'd be in front
Yeah.
of the TV doing the same moves.
Right.
Well, I loved when you two showed up as Milli Vanilli at a Halloween party
That was awesome.
not too long ago, and you had the dance down packed. Yeah, the full outfit and the dance.
Yeah, we practiced in the foyer.
That was hilarious, hilarious. But fun fact about the Tuesday record drops and stuff. I mean, so we drop our episodes on Tuesdays as a nod to that,
Yeah, we get that.
to that
Yeah.
era.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I didn't
Yeah,
even make
that's
that
why we drop on
connection.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that?
As it should be.
It's all
then.
rooted
Yeah.
there
It's all
somewhere, and it
rooted.
carries with us into today.
Yeah.
Man.
It's good.
All right, gang. So we are nearing or rounding third base here. Last final comments around the 90s as we start to wrap this up. And we'll probably have to do a part 2 because I don't even think we scratched the surface on
Yeah.
a ton of other things. But
You gonna make me dress like this again?
Can I wear the same outfit?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, can I take this off? Because I'm sweating to death in this puffer vest. I'm dying in here.
It's like your little hat.
It's like the 90s.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like the 90s, right? You just wore it and dealt with it.
Yep.
As uncomfortable as it was. You know you wore a tight
know.
pair of sneakers because you needed to wear, they didn't have your size, so you bought them anyway.
Yep. I know. I'm looking at you in that vest.
Hot.
Yeah,
Hot.
it's a little hot under here, but thank you guys. This was a lot of fun.
This
So
was fun.
to our audience, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all next episode.
Later.
Friends After 40 podcast.